Let's talk about the MacBook Pro, shall we? Welcome to the long-term review of the MacBook Pro. So before moving forward, I just want to quickly show the box contents here. We get 16-inch MacBook Pro obviously in the box, and 140 watts of huge brick USB-C power adapter, and a USB-C to MagSafe cable. And here is my model, and the specs are 2021 M1 Max MacBook Pro with 64 gigs of unified memory and 4 terabytes of SSD. So just a quick tip, if you're planning to plug in this huge power adapter to a wall outlet, just please don't, because it'll just keep on falling out and dropping on the floor, which is not nice. And I would just recommend picking up extension cable from your local Apple store or apple.com. They are really cheap, and it'll be really nice and convenient to plug into any of the wall outlet. And you will also get a long power cable, and you can sit wherever you want, and you do not have to worry about the cable length. Okay, so let's talk about the top-notch design. And I think that Apple is following the tradition from the iPhones, and it's bringing it to the MacBooks. So we got a notch at the top of the display, and also physically we can see that Apple has made these laptops noticeably thicker as compared to the previous generation of MacBooks, which is totally fine. I think this is one of the best decisions Apple has made in a long time. This design, because of this thickness, we get better thermal performance, and it still looks aesthetically pleasing and really nice, and it just looks like a MacBook. Also, the feet of this generation of MacBooks are a little bit taller as compared to the previous ones, and that helps in better airflow and cooling. So yeah, as we were talking about the design and the outside content, so let's talk about the ports. Thank you so much, Apple, for bringing back the physical real ports. So this time we have a full-sized HDMI port and a full-size SD card reader, 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and a headphone jack, and MagSafe has made its return. I think USB-C has become universal standard, but still I think we should have gotten at least one full-sized USB-A port. According to me, this display checks out all the boxes. This is a huge 16.2-inch display, almost 4K, high pixel density, HDR, Dolby Vision certified, high refresh rate, really color accurate. So yeah, if you want to define a perfect display on a laptop, I think this is it. Okay, so let's talk about the battery real quick. According to my use case, the battery life has been really good, and I always editing videos and producing music. So if I'm for example editing video on Final Cut Pro, and all of these graphics animations going on the top, and I'm pushing it really hard, and then I can just kill it from 100 to 0% in about 6 hours. But then I can always plug it back into the charger, and with the help of fast charging, I can get almost 50% of charge in just about half an hour. So yeah, that's pretty convenient. But if you're not video editing, if you're just watching any movies or videos or just doing some web surfing with Safari or Chrome, then it will last about 10-12 hours. So you can just forget about the charger and use it whole day and still have about 10-12% left in the battery. But the fast charger is only enabled when you are using the new MagSafe charger. But if you are using or choosing to charge it via USB-C, then the fast charging will not work. And then it's only 96 watts. So if you use MagSafe charger, then the full 140 watts charger will work. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the battery life. Okay, so let's talk about the keyboard and the trackpad. So the biggest difference in the keyboard section, as you can see, there is no touch bar anymore. So I'm just gonna come out and say it. I do really miss the touch bar because my previous 2019 model of the MacBook Pro had touch bar, and I used it for the slider on that for decreasing the volume, increasing decreasing the brightness. Also, whenever I used Logic, then I can use the touch bar as a complete built-in MIDI keyboard. Then it just kind of sound a little weird, but it did work. So to be honest, I do miss the touch bar, but it doesn't have anymore, so I can't do anything about it. So I'm just happy without it, happy was with it. As I have already mentioned that the real physical function keys are back. Okay, so yeah, according to me, the overall keyboard is real nice. The keys feel really good. They have nice travel to them, and yeah, the trackpad is always great because according to me and almost everyone out there, Apple has one of the best trackpads in the laptop business. So like no other Windows laptop even come close to it. Okay, so before talking about the camera, I just want to address the notch. That's a huge notch at the top of this display. It only houses a couple sensors and a full HD FaceTime camera, so I don't think the notch is required to be this big. Hopefully in the next generation of MacBook Pros, Apple add a Face ID. Whenever you are in the full screen, the notch will never get in your way, and the operating system also treat it as it has a full screen and no notch, because whenever you take a screenshot or screen recording, that notch part comes out as blank. And also there has never been a chance whenever I see menu bar contents cutting inside the notch or hiding behind it. So yeah, it's just pretty great. Okay, so that's enough about the notch. Now let's talk about the actual camera that's hidden inside the notch. The camera quality is decent. It's a finally 1080p camera, and yeah, it's pretty good for any FaceTimes or any of the Zoom meetings. Now let's talk about audio. So as we already know, MacBook Pros has one of the best speaker system in all the laptops compared. Like no other Windows laptop or even the MacBook Air comes even close to the quality of 16-inch MacBook Pro inbuilt speakers. They have a really good low end and a really nice high end, and have a decent volume level as well. And yeah, they are just great. Also, speaking of audio, Apple has updated the quality of the mic, so the microphone quality is also really good. As some of you may already have seen one of the videos on the channel where I showed a tutorial for saving space on Final Cut Pro libraries. All the audio in that video was recorded in the inbuilt microphones. Okay, so that's enough about the outside. Let's dig a little bit deeper and talk about the performance, the part all of you have been waiting for. Okay, so as I've been using this laptop for about a year now, and I have a lot of things to say about it. The first thing, out of the box, these laptops perform next level. As compared to my previous generation MacBook Pro with the Intel i7, I have seen like a huge difference in performance. So as I work with audio and video as well, the video editing performance, especially with Final Cut Pro, has been amazing. As I use Final Cut Pro as my daily driver, and Final Cut Pro is the software of choice for editing videos, but occasionally I use Premiere Pro as well, and also sometimes I use DaVinci Resolve. But still, the video editing performance, playback and timeline at full resolutions, these laptops shine like a diamond. So yeah, in this video I will not be showing any kind of synthetic benchmarks using Cinebench or Geekbench, and I will be addressing all the performance according to my use case. For music production, I use Logic Pro X, and for video editing, Final Cut Pro is the editor for choice. For video editing, for playback, for encoding and decoding is just like 4 or 5 times faster as compared to my previous laptop, which was 16-inch MacBook Pro with the i7 processor and 16 gigabytes of RAM only. So as compared to that, this laptop has been a huge improvement in my workflow. But still, sometimes I feel like still my brain and my hands are working faster than the laptop. So yeah, but if I push it too hard, you can still make it lag a little bit, and the video playback will become choppy. Okay, so as some of you may already know that I also own a gaming PC with i9 10100K, 64 gigs of RAM and RTX 3090 GPU. So right there, that computer is so damn powerful and also being so damn power hungry. The performance of video editing I have tested on Premiere Pro is really good on that PC, but since I bought this laptop, I have never touched that gaming PC for editing videos. I only play games on there and record my gameplay videos. Then I transfer all the video files on this laptop on the MacBook Pro and edit all my footage and my gameplay videos in Final Cut Pro. Since then, I switched to this MacBook Pro for editing videos because this MacBook Pro has enabled me to be mobile, and I can be like traveling and I can take it anywhere with me, and I can edit videos. Even if it's on battery power, the performance will not drop even 1%. Also, I have recently edited a video and I did a complete screen recording of the exporting times, and here are the results of export times in 4K, different resolutions and different settings. And also I have edited this same video on my desktop computer, which is almost the same price of this MacBook Pro, with i9 10900K, 64 gigs of RAM, and RTX 3090 graphics card, and the same video, same length, same resolution. Okay, so yeah, that's enough about the video editing performance. Let's talk about a little bit of audio. Working with music. So yeah, I have these huge Logic Pro projects of music which is produced by me. Okay, so in the Logic Pro I have set the buffer speed only to 64, and this project contains almost 400 audio tracks and a ton of plugins on each single layer of instruments and audio sample. Despite having this much complexity in the project, it plays without even blinking a little bit. Plays without even blinking a little bit, and playback is really smooth. I can make edits along the way. I can add any more reverbs or any more effects. I can even like double the project samples. I can even double the tracks, and it will still be flawless. So yeah, that's next level for me. Also, it is important if you are working with audio, your computer or your machine needs to be super quiet, because whenever you are recording vocals, then it comes in real handy. So your laptop needs to be quiet, and whenever you are recording vocals, there must be no background noises getting recorded in the microphone. Whenever I use Logic, fans doesn't even spin up, it just stays quiet and stays cool. It doesn't get warm. But I just want to address this one issue I have with this. Whenever I edit a video which is longer than 1 hour or 2 hours, because gameplay videos tend to be that long, obviously, because missions of the new AAA games are so long. And also I have audio files in the timeline. Also I have these graphics going on the top, and I am making these all adjustments with the transitions and adding artifacts on the top and the top and the top. So when the workflow gets to the certain point of complexity, this laptop starts to get warm up. And when you keep pushing it even hard, then the fans spin up, and you can hear them. They are really loud, but it only happened to me when I use Final Cut Pro. It never happened to me when I'm working with music, thankfully. Thankfully, whenever I am producing music or using Logic Pro X, even though I put a lot of samples, a lot of effects on each single track, then the fans never spin up. The laptop doesn't even get warm. But whenever I'm editing videos using Final Cut Pro, then the fans go crazy sometimes, because my workflow is sometimes hard with the graphics, all these artifacts, different transitions going on, and you can hear it. So yeah, I have this video I recorded a few days back when I was editing the review video of Apple TV 4K. So yeah, just take a listen. So I have no complaints with my new MacBook Pro 2021 model. This is running the latest generation of M1 Max and 64 gigs of RAM. So this is basically the highest spec model they make right now. But I have a huge problem. It's not the performance, it's really great. The rendering times are so incredibly low, and everything is silky, buttery smooth. But there is a big issue. So as you can hear, there is a loud noise in the background. So I'm recording this video on my phone. Obviously there will be some noises, but there is this fans noise. So take a listen. Look, so I am rendering this project and I've been using it for about an year now, and every time I edit a video and make it a little bit complex and add some graphics, transitions, and when I render the video, it's going like super loud, super crazy. And if I keep my finger or hand over here for some time, it starts burning and a little bit of itching on the finger. So these laptops does get hot. They have fans and they do spin up at full speed if you push them. So all these YouTubers saying that the fans doesn't even spin up, they stay cool and all, though they are wrong. So I agree with them on the speed and the performance. These laptops are great, but the loudness of the fans is a real issue. So if you wear headphones or anything, then it's good. But if you work with audio as I do, I sometimes produce music on Logic Pro X, so it's right here. And whenever I have to record some vocals or listen to the music properly when I'm mixing or mastering, then this is a big problem. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. Right, so yeah, you can hear for yourself. As I already know that most of the YouTubers say that the fans doesn't even spin up, but if you push them too hard, you are working. Also, I almost forgot, I just want to say that whenever I'm editing video or producing music, I have at least 20 to 25 windows of Chrome and Safari combined opened in the background running. That's how my workflow is. So, but then as well, these laptops just like perform really well, really next level. But sometimes I really feel that my mind and my hands are working faster than the laptop and it needs to be more fast. So yeah, my expectations are high and I'm really waiting for the next generation of the MacBook Pros, and it'll be a nice ride. Also, I just want to say that there is one big drawback to being an early adapter, because as we all know, this is the first generation of Apple Silicon. These all are M1 chips, and M2 has already been released in the MacBook Airs, but it hasn't been released a new version of MacBook Pros. I think Apple will release one next year. Being an early adapter has its flaws because most of the applications I use were not optimized for my workflow when I bought it, and all of my plugins for Final Cut Pro were not supported by Apple Silicon, and most of the plugins that I use on Logic Pro for music production were also not supported. And but with the time passed and most of the developers rolled out their updates for Apple Silicon, and it was okay, the problem was fixed. But still, there are a number of developers who hasn't updated, and also because I switch between Windows and Mac quite often, because I use my gaming PC for recording videos of my gameplay and voiceovers sometimes. And also Xbox does not support exFAT formatted external drives to record gameplays. So I need to format my external SSDs to NTFS format, so which is used widely on Windows, but it's not used on macOS. macOS can read NTFS, but it cannot write on it. So I have to use this software extension which is called NTFS for Mac by Paragon Software, which enables macOS to write on NTFS drives. And yeah, it just works for me. When I bought this MacBook Pro, this was also not supported, and a few months were really difficult for my workflow. But after a few months, the Paragon Software rolled out an update, and now NTFS is supported on this Mac as well. But yeah, it's I just want to put that out there. Also, I am looking forward to the next generation of the MacBook Pros and see what Apple does with the M2 Pro and M2 Ultra. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Peace.